In order to collect evaluation and assessment data, you'll need a form that has all the questions you'll ask on the evaluation. First, let's go over the features on the Forms page and some general information about forms. Subsequent videos will go over the question types, building the form, as well as sharing and cloning forms. Because it's important to ensure consistency across programs, some institutions limit access to form creation and management to a select few admins. If you do not have access to the Forms page, please contact your super administrator, who can assign you the correct Edit Forms permission if it is appropriate to do so. Alternatively, your super administrator can direct you to the person that builds forms. If you're granted the Edit Forms permission, you may access a list of your group or program's existing forms by clicking Forms in the top menu bar and then clicking Forms in the left sidebar menu. On the page that appears, you'll see a list of all active forms for the group you have signed into, and they are sorted alphabetically. By clicking on the form name, you can expand the details to see who created the form, when it was created, when it was last edited, how many questions appear on the form, and how many groups the form might be shared with. To the right, you'll see a list of actions that can be performed on each form. In order to view the questions on the form without making any changes, click on View. This will show you all of the questions, including the feedback questions that are listed at the bottom. Although feedback questions show when you view the form, these questions are only included in the actual evaluation that goes out, where the target is able to see the results and where the form is not anonymous. There is a way to turn off these feedback questions for all forms in a group. These questions can also be edited by the support team, but any edits will affect these questions on all forms where they are included. If you wish to make changes to an existing form, you can click Edit. It is important to remember that changes to forms are retroactive, and therefore changes that alter the meaning or context of a question are not recommended, as it will affect previously collected data. You can safely add a new question to a form with the understanding that there will be no answers or data related to that question from before you added the question, a good thing to keep in mind when reporting. You won't be able to delete a question which has already been answered. To do so would be to permanently delete the answers or data related to that question. If you would like to delete the question anyway, including the data or answers associated with the question, please contact 145 support. You may also share or clone forms. We will go into further detail in a future video. If you click More, you will see the option to deactivate the form. Deactivating a form will prevent that form from being added as a new form to the evaluation workflow or being sent in a bulk single send. However, if the form has already been added to the evaluation workflow, it will not automatically remove that form. In a future video, we will show you how to replace an old form with an updated version within the workflow page. If the form has never been completed, you'll also see the option to delete the form when you click on More. Deleting the form will completely remove it from the system. If you would like to see the list of your inactive forms, click on your inactive forms near the top of the page. The options on this page are the same, with one main exception. When you click on More, the option to reactivate the form will appear. If you are the super administrator and have the necessary permission, you may also see the Reactivate for All Groups option. This is for shared forms. At the top of the page, you also have the ability to view the history of changes to your form by clicking on View Form History. Select the type of change you would like to review by clicking on the drop-down menu at the top of the page. You can view several different changes such as form or question creations, deletions, changes, and which forms were cloned or shared. As a final note, it's a good idea to have a consistent naming convention for your forms. As you progress through the academic years, you'll likely create new versions of the same form. It's a good idea to include a version number or the year the form started being used while keeping the name otherwise the same. That way you can more easily find the form you want from the list, as well as be able to easily distinguish newer versions of older forms when comparing reports in the future. That's all for the overview of the form building page. Look forward to more videos showing how to create the elements on a form.